Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. Hello, good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever the case may be, where you are in your neck of the woods, in your corner of our planet. It is an insanely gorgeous day. Such a beautiful fall day. The weather is stunningly perfect. Not a cloud in the sky. The blue is like the most gorgeous shade of blue. It's 80 degrees. And every once in a while, there's like a breeze. So it's crazy. And I'm headed down as usual. You guys are used to this. I say it every time. I am headed down to my lower property with my pooches. So you're going to hear me panting and wheezing, and my dog's doing the same. I have been working out a lot, so I don't know why I'm panting as much as I am. I'm getting old, I suppose. Anyway, so hello, welcome. Thank you. Thank you so very, very much for being here, for joining me, for caring enough to take your time to tune in. I don't know if you're listening on the way to work, on the way home from work, maybe while you are just taking a drive, maybe you're in the shower, maybe you're trying to fall asleep. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, thanks. And again, you can email me. You can email and suggest topics or ask questions or tell me what you think I need to work on, improve upon, what you like, all that good stuff. And, let's try to keep it polite. You get more flies with honey, right? So feel free. Ramblings of an Insomniac 49 at gmail.com. You can email and say, hey, Puck, I don't have the ball, my friend. Mo does. So, I am down here on my lower property because it's a gorgeous day and I want to take advantage of it before the weather starts turning and soak in the vitamin D while it lasts, right? And I didn't really have an agenda today. I know that I've been whining a lot. I know I've been talking about relationships and stuff a lot. It's probably bumming everybody out. And they're like, geesh, like move on already. But, like I've said 1,000 times, I have I made this podcast so I could discuss things that are on my mind, things that are keeping me up and things that are giving me insomnia. And sometimes it's going to be whining and crying and bitching and moaning about relationships or family members or bosses or friends or the politics, whatever, I'm assuming if you've tuned in more than once, it's your cup of tea and you don't mind and you value what I have to say. Or maybe you think I'm just such a shit show that you're like, man, listening to Courtney makes me feel so much better about myself. I mean, I've done that before. I'm not going to lie. That's why I watch a lot of reality TV, because I'm like, dang, I thought I was drama. I thought I was a train wreck. And then you watch other people and you're like, all right, I'm not doing too shabby. I'm not as terrible of a human as I thought. And it could be worse. It's that whole thing that everybody says. You do the gooseneck thing to watch other people's train wreck. You can't help it. So maybe you're tuning in for that reason. Whatever the reason is, I appreciate it either way. It means a lot. But you can email me and let me know what you think. Whoa, my dog just made an amazing, good job, Gwendolyn. She just made like an ESPN little catch. So like I said, I have absolutely zero script. No, I didn't have a plan of attack when I came into this. And sometimes it goes okay. Sometimes it goes well. Other times it's like, wah, wah. And I just literally babble and it's about nothing. And people probably tune out like in 2 seconds. And that may be the case today. I'm not going to lie, because I literally do not have the slightest clue what to talk about, because I feel like if I keep talking about my relationships and that kind of stuff, God, excuse me, why does my throat always start this right when I start doing a podcast? All day, been fine. Start a podcast, I have to like pee or blow my nose, or I'm like, my dogs are panting, or that's when my dogs start barking, or planes start flying overhead, and I clear my throat 89 times. I just need to like do this in a studio and have water and do it like a professional human, and then none of this would happen. But what's the fun in that, right? I mean, what's the fun in being professional? I would get a lot more followers, I'm sure of it. But yeah. Anyway, so for real politics on my mind, I've realized when you get older, that stuff actually affects your life. You know, when you're younger, you don't really pay attention because you're oblivious, you're naive, you don't really think it affects you as much as it does. And, you know, you have other things going on like boyfriends, girlfriends, relationships, and sports and school and what you're going to wear and your hormones and all that crap. So you don't really think about worldly things. You don't really think about it. I'm not saying nobody does, just saying the majority, I feel, when you're younger, you don't really pay that much attention to the news. You may, you know, tune in every now and then, kind of cock your ear to the side and listen a little bit. But I feel the majority of us weren't really that interested. And it took till we got older and realized, okay, wait, this affects me. This actually affects my paycheck or affects my home and my family and my health. So I really need to be mindful of who's running the show, you know? And right now, it's amazing to me when you ask, hey, why are you voting for Kamala this time around? Like, what makes you think that from this time, 4 years from now, the world is going to be a better place? Why do you feel America is going to be better off with Kamala Harris at the helm? Like, what is going to change? What is going to be different than what's currently happening right now? And I ask that because I'm like, bear in mind, currently, right now, as we speak, Kamala Harris is the vice president. Biden is taking a nap somewhere, and we know that he's not running the show. So she's had 4 years. She's had 4 years to do all these things. Suddenly, she's into closing the border. Suddenly, she woke up and decided to adopt all of Trump's policies and try to pass them off as if they were her ideas. And she flip-flops all the time. So it's just incredibly frustrating because, again, when you ask people, hey, what makes you feel that we are going to be better off as a country with Kamala Harris as president? What do you think is going to change? What's going to be different than now? And if you start citing things that you feel are going to be different than right now, you need to remind yourself that right now she's in charge, which means that you think that she's not doing a good job. It means that you currently feel that she is not doing the job correctly. Therefore, you're hoping she will fix things. You're hoping she will change things, which means you're hoping she will correct her flaws, correct her poor judgment. She will correct her policies. Because currently, the policies that you're wanting to change, you're saying that you are hoping things will change. And then if you give a list of things that you're hoping she will follow through with, like if you're trying to say that she is for women's rights and she is for a closed border, you need to look at the fact that she has had 4 years to do those things. What makes you think she's going to suddenly start doing them when she becomes president? Why hasn't she done them? And if you want those things fixed, that means you think that currently she's wrong. She isn't doing things correctly. You don't like how she's running things now, which is exactly what Republicans are saying. Republicans are saying we don't like the way that Biden and Harris have been running things for the past 4 years. We want a closed border. So if you're saying because she's saying she wants a closed border when she becomes president. So again, you're saying that right now you disagree with her open border policy. So I'm just very confused. Are you for illegal immigrants coming in and mooching off of us and taking all of our money, or are you against that? Because to me, it sounds like you're flip-flopping, just like Kamala. Oh, my dog agrees. Perfect timing. Do you think they're flip-flopping, Mo? What do you think? Mo, do you think they're flip-flopping? What do you think, guys? Raise your paw if Kamala Harris and the Biden party are nothing but hypocritical flip-floppers. They're like little flounders. They're like fish out of water, literally flopping all over the place. It's crazy. So I've been asking people just that, like, what makes you feel that she's going to follow through when she hasn't for the past 4 years? And I ask Trump supporters the same thing. Hey, if Trump is elected, why do you feel our country will be better? What makes you think that he is going to do a better job? What things do you think, what policies do you feel he's going to implement that will make this country run better? So far, I haven't had any responses at all, none. And I'm curious. I really am. I want to know genuinely what makes people tick and their reasons behind things. And sometimes you don't have a reason. You don't always have a solid reason on why you like or dislike something. But I feel when it comes to politics in particular, you should probably have a pretty valid reason because it's important, because you're voting on these things and these people dictate what we can and can't do. So in those instances, I feel you should be educated. You should do your research. You shouldn't be biased and just look at it from one angle, from one perspective. Again, I've said this a million times, I do photography, so I like looking things from different angles, from different perspective, different points of view, and you don't always look at just the Republican side or just the Democrat side. You look at not just from male or female. You try to get all angles and then piece it together yourself, then form a conclusion, but have it be an educated conclusion. Now, if you say, I like chocolate over vanilla, I don't think anyone's asking you to come up with some profound reason as to why. I don't think anyone gives a rat's ass why you prefer chocolate over vanilla. But when it comes to politics, it actually affects other people. It's not just about you. So I think people have a right to know why you feel the way you do. People don't have the right to harass you for it. People don't have the right to beat you up and riot and destroy buildings over it and burn things down. People don't have a right to assassinate your character over it or try to assassinate you over it, like they did with Trump 2 different times, 2 separate occasions. But I think people have the right to know when it comes to something that affects them. Hey, are you educated enough to make that decision? Because you probably shouldn't vote on things that you don't, that you're not educated on. You probably shouldn't vote on things if you haven't researched it and done your homework on it. And sometimes the wording is very, very tricky. Sometimes the wording is very tricky on those voter pamphlets, and it's incredibly frustrating because you have to have like a law degree and you have to break it down into like little teeny sections to understand what the hell they're talking about. But, you need to take the time to do it, no matter how frustrating it is, because again, you don't want to vote on something that you don't know what the hell you're voting on, because it affects other people. And we're not just in you land or you universe. When I say you, I'm referring to myself as well. I'm including myself into the you, into everyone. I'm saying this about myself. I better know my research. I better be educated. Do you guys like listening to all this trampling around of leaves and stuff? And again, I'm huffing and puffing because I keep walking up and down my hill. So I'm like, cardio. At the same time, I'll kill 3 birds actually with 1 stone. I'll exercise my dogs, give myself exercise, and do a podcast at the same time. I'll multitask, and get a lot done. And then also get vitamin D. So I have 4 things I'm doing. But it doesn't make for a very good podcast when I'm like, again, it sounds like a porn, and this is not a porn. So, I don't know. People have different fetishes. Maybe this is porn to somebody, in which case, thank you. I'm flattered, actually, super flattered. That just makes me happy, actually, if, somehow you get off on my podcast. I don't know. That makes me sound like a creeper. That makes me sound weird and gross. I just mean how flattering if someone finds my voice, because I don't have anything that's on YouTube or anything like that. It's just my voice. So if you find my voice so attractive that it's like a fetish for you, that's kind of a compliment, right? Wouldn't you find that a compliment? Am I gross? Am I weird? Should I just shut up and stop talking? Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I don't know. It's flattering. Whatever. Sue me. Anyway, so I feel like now that I'm older, I'm wiser, and I'm realizing, wow, holy crap, I can't just willy-nilly say things. I should back up what the hell I'm talking about, not speak out my ass. And I just stepped on a thorn, and it's in between my toes, and it's a big one. All right. I'm going to, except now my dog is attacking me. I'm going to sit down so that I'm not panting. And we're going to calm down. All right. Anyway, so that's on my mind. I'm genuinely scared to death that Kamala the killer is going to win. I walk a dog for one of our clients, and I go through their neighborhood, and all I see are Harris signs. And I just want nothing more than to throw up and rip them out of their yard. But I'm not going to, because again, I genuinely believe in freedom of speech, freedom of, having that sign in your yard. You are free to believe what you want. You're not hurting anybody by having that sign in your yard. And I have signs in my yard. So of course, I think that they should be allowed, and nobody should take them out, and nobody should harm them at all. But I still think it. I think it every single time, and I want to throw up. And then in my neighborhood, Harris signs all over the damn place. I look like the odd man out. We used to have a couple that had the FJB flag up, and I dropped my phone. We used to have a couple that had the FJB flag and all kinds of Trump flags, and it was great, but they moved. I am like the odd duck out. There are a couple of neighbors that I really think that they're Trump supporters. I do deep down. I think they are. I think I'm correct, but they don't put up anything. They want to remain Switzerland, remain neutral. They're not getting involved in politics, which good for them. I took the more immature route. And every time someone puts up a Harris sign, I just want to be like, bam, 6 Trump signs, bam, bulletin board, neon lights, I want the whole thing, because I feel like I have to balance out the crazy. I feel like it's my duty to balance out the gross Harris juju. So right now I only have 2 small Trump signs. And then I have an Israel American flag, the one that bleeds into, it starts out with the American flag and it bleeds into the Israeli flag. And then I have a heart with the American flag on it. So, that's pretty good. 2 Trump signs, a flag, and the heart. God, you are all panting. You guys are getting panting in unison. Anyways, and a heart with the flag on it. I think I've done my patriotic duty for our neighborhood. So yeah. So the whole so that's what I was gonna say. Squirrel. I really genuinely am scared shitless that Kamala's gonna win. But the thing is, if she does win, did she really win? There's always, 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 we all know it. No one's going to believe. No one's going to believe the votes if Kamala wins. People are automatically going to be like, nope, there was, it was corrupt, it was rigged, and fake, false, and we all know it. And maybe, what if she really does win? Because like I said, I'm seeing Harris stuff all over the place. Maybe she really will win and it will genuinely be legit. But we all know in the back of our minds, we're not going to believe it. And then of course, the liberals aren't going to believe if Trump wins, and they're going to feel the same way we did. And it'll be the whole Hillary Trump thing all over again. And it'll be the whole Biden Trump thing all over again. And just because of the way the election is done, the way the votes are done, no one is ever going to trust it ever again because it's stupid. We should never, ever, ever do mail-in ballots. That is ridiculous. It shouldn't be done. There should be maybe have 2 or 3 days that people have to vote. And it could be from like 6:30 in the morning until like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So that way people could go either before work or after work. And they have, say, 3 days to do it. And they do those little those puffy things that almost looks like Braille. And they do it like when you take your SATs, and you put it through a little computer thing right there, and it tallies it right there, and it does it with, again, that little Braille puffy thing. I don't know how to explain what the hell I'm talking about, but we don't have humans count it. And I know that we say we don't want computers to count it because nowadays computers can be all of a sudden, my brain, because it's an insomniac, they can be tampered with and stuff. But I mean, humans can too. So if we just do those, like almost like a punch card, like a time card kind of thing, we just do it like that. And you have 3 days. And if you don't vote on those 3 days, well, you snooze, you lose. So sorry, Charlie, you don't get to vote. And it could even be tallied almost in real time. But being able to do it early and being able to mail it in is absolutely asinine. That's ridiculous. And it's proven to be nothing but faulty and inconsistent, and it just doesn't work. And it has also been proven that people are shady and they tamper with the votes. I mean, dead people have gotten votes, felons have gotten votes, illegal immigrants have gotten votes. So we need to be able, now they say, well, all you need is ID. Well, they're giving illegal immigrants IDs. So it shouldn't be that at all. It should be that, of course, we don't give illegal immigrants IDs at all. And it should be only American citizens. And of course, they should be 18 or older and have had to have lived in their particular state for whatever it is, a year or whatever. So no one is going to believe the election, whether it's Trump or Kamala that wins. And that sucks because you're always in the back of your mind going to be like, this is not my president. Now, of course, I'm going to be ecstatic if Trump wins, and I'm going to be like, haha, suckers with Harris. Facts. But I am going to believe it. I'm not going to lie. I don't think that Harris supporters should feel that it was rigged. And here's why. The Democrats have literally done every single thing possible, even trying to assassinate him 2 different times on 2 separate occasions, not once, but 2 separate times they tried to assassinate him. Allegedly, I can't say. And when I say they don't know who I'm talking about. I guess the Democrat Party seems awfully suspicious. And so they have done everything humanly possible to try to get this man killed or thrown off the ballot or discredited. So if he wins, I think everybody should believe it because he has jumped over 1 billion hoops. He has had to fight harder than any effing president and any human just to stay alive, literally just to stay alive, let alone get voters. They are flooding this country with illegal immigrants to try and get the votes. So I absolutely think that if Kamala wins, it's either A, because again, they bribed all the Democrats can be bought. They're just like her. They have their legs open and they can be bought like a hooker. If apparently they sleep their way to the top and that's how they get things. So if you are sleeping your way to the top and you have to get it shady and you have to do things dirty and you have to lie and cheat and steal and be corrupt and have money laundering going on, and then if that's how you have to win, that's sad. That's really sad. And we have seen that that is how politicians, I shouldn't just say Democrats, politicians are always shady. It's not just Democrats. I shouldn't say that. I need to stop saying that. I'm just mad right now because the Democratic Party is being such disgusting prostitutes right now. They're selling themselves, they're selling their souls to the devil. They're pimping themselves out to the devil, and on a whim because their patterns change. It's like they follow trends. It frustrates me to no end that we used to talk about Democrats' biggest thing was white people should not be able to sing the lyrics in a rapper song that has the N-word. So if we're singing along to a song that a rapper made, and they're the ones that wrote the N-word in their lyrics, and they knew it was going to be on the radio for everybody to sing to, and they were hoping that everybody would like it so much that we would sing to it. If you put the N-word in there and you put it out on the radio and it's a song for people to sing, people are going to say the N-word. If you have such a problem with it, don't put it in your lyrics. If you think it's such a disrespectful, disgusting word, then why are you using it? You don't get to say, oh, a certain group of people get to use it. No, either it's a disrespectful word or it's not. You don't get to pick and choose when it's disrespectful. Oh, under these conditions, under the full moon, every other Friday, it's disrespectful. No, it's either disrespectful or it's not. And if you find yourself so disrespectful as to call yourself the N-word, that means you have no respect for yourself. And you're the one that chose to put it in your lyrics, which means you chose to be disrespectful. So don't expect me to have a different opinion of yourself than you do. Don't expect me to care more about yourself than you do, to care more about you than you do. Don't expect me to have respect for you or your race if you don't. Sounds to me like it's a you problem, so don't use the word. But my point is, back in the day, people were throwing a fit. Liberals were throwing a fit because white people should not be allowed, and black people were just throwing a fit. White people should not be allowed to sing the lyrics to a rap song and say the N-word. And they ruined people's lives. They ruined people's reputation. They ruined people and drug them through the mud because they said the N-word on a rap song. That was all the trend. The trend was to hate on white people for singing the lyrics to a song with the N-word. Then it moved on to hating white people because we supposedly oppress black people and we get all the jobs and blah, blah, blah. There's just always a trend that the extreme left jumps on. And it's only a trend. And my point is, it's this fleeting moment in which they're lemmings and they pick up on what the celebrities say and they try to be the cool kids because they don't want to be the nerd. They don't want to be the one on the bench. They want to be part of the cool club and the cool kids. So they run around like little junior high school kids and follow whatever the trend is, hoping and praying they'll have friends, hoping and praying somebody will pay attention to them. And in the path of destruction, they ruin people's buildings, they ruin people's businesses, they steal from them, and they make videos trying to ruin someone's life because they used the N-word during a rap song that they were singing as part of a trend. And then it's going to be trendy to hate on people because they supposedly don't like transgender people. And then you're going to cancel their shows and you're going to cancel their only source of income to be able to pay for food and pay for rent and pay for their car and pay for gas. And you would rather ruin their lives over a trend that you will never follow through with. It's not like you actually save the whales. It's not like you actually are saving anybody's lives. Are you going to Palestine? Are any of you leftists out there that are bitching and moaning? Do you think that having a riot changes anything whatsoever? What did you do for Palestine? What did you do for gays and lesbians? What did you do for transgender people? What did you do for Black people by looting and rioting and burning things down? All you did is cause those same people to pay more taxes and lose their jobs. What a bunch of morons. Do you think that you could actually get off your butts and go to maybe a different country and help, build some wells or build some shelter or try to teach English or give vaccinations? Do you think you could go work at an abortion clinic and help give abortions? Maybe if you started giving abortions and ripping apart fetuses and selling fetus legs and fetus arms to Planned Parenthood, maybe you would start changing your tune a little bit. Maybe if you would stop yapping your gums and start using your legs to walk around and help others. Maybe if you would, I don't know, go help the homeless and see if you can clean up the streets, see if you can get them a job. Invite them to your house because you're the one that is all into illegal immigrants. You're the ones that want an open border. So open your homes. If you want an open border, then open your doors, open your windows, open your gates, tear down your fences, take down security, unlock your doors, and house these people and give them a job, and you fix their meals and you start paying for their food and their gas and their cell phone. If you're really genuinely for all of this, then close your mouth, and your actions will speak louder than those flapping gums of yours. Put your words into action. Because if you're just sitting back, telling everybody else what they should do, and in the meantime, ruining their businesses while you're not even paying taxes on that, wait until it actually affects you. And by the way, the internet's forever. So those of you barking, there's a video of a guy barking at somebody. There's a video of a guy dressed in a cat suit and licking himself and walking around downtown. Remember, the internet's forever. You're going to have great grandchildren. And these people, these family members, these great grandchildren, these friends, these future employers are going to see these videos. They're going to see them, and are you going to be proud of yourself? Did you forget that people are going to see these in the future? And I can't wait for you to see yourself in the future and be embarrassed. I hope to God you're embarrassed. You probably won't be. I'm sure you won't be embarrassed. Oh no. It just said low battery. And I have been sitting here yapping forever. And I have no idea what the heck I was talking about because I don't know how long the battery, the low battery light has been on. So I have no idea when it came on, which means I have no idea at what point it stopped. And I was saying some, good, insightful stuff. I was saying some stuff that makes you guys want to listen, okay? Dang it, I have no idea. I guess I could kind of wrap it up. And if you already heard it all, then you'll kind of get the wrap up and then we'll just call it a day. But basically, all these extreme leftists out there, all these extreme leftists that keep rioting and picketing and hating on others, what are you doing to contribute? Are you actually going to Palestine? Are you actually going on the streets and helping the homeless and giving them a job? Are you giving them money? Are you giving them clothes? Are you actually putting your actions, your words into action? Or are you just flapping your gums? Stop flapping your gums and start putting your words into action. Because if you actually cared about what you were bitching and whining about, you would get your butts down to all the homeless camps and you would help them make a resume. You would help clean them up. You would give them a shower and give them clothes. If you were actually for open borders, you would house these people. You would pay for their food. You would pay for their clothes. You would tear down your fences. You would open up your doors. If you want open borders, then you should have your doors open. And if you were all about Palestine, are you going to Palestine and helping those people? If you're all about all these third world things and third world countries and vaccinations and all these things, are you going to these countries and helping? Or are you just making videos on the internet, rioting and burning down buildings and burning our flag? How does that help anything? How does burning things down and making hateful videos, how does that help third world countries? How does that help Palestine? You need to stop yapping your gums and start putting your words into action or be quiet. It's just frustrating. And it's frustrating when you are, again, you're older and you realize these things affect you. And so you're younger, you have a different perspective. And we all did. My God, I was younger and I thought I knew everything and I didn't want to watch the news and I didn't realize how the world worked necessarily. And I was in me land. But I mean, the internet is forever, people. Your grandchildren's grandchildren is going to see you barking at someone, is going to see you dressed in a cat suit, peeing in a bathroom stall, identifying as a cat. Your family members are going to see that because the internet is forever. Are you going to honestly be proud and look back and be like, yep, I did that. I made a statement. I made a really good statement. I made a change in the world by identifying as a cat and making schools put cat litter boxes. Man, I changed the world for the better by making people use by making men be in women's sports and having men beat up women in boxing. I really changed the world. I'm progressive. I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward by men being in locker rooms and bathrooms and seeing women naked and seeing children naked. I'm being progressive by chopping off breasts, by removing penises. I'm being progressive by not telling parents that their children want to take hormones and their children want to have gender affirming surgery. That's progressive. I'm so great. I think that if, again, you're not educated in something and you're not doing your research, you probably shouldn't be making those decisions, especially for parents when you're not a parent. Why do you get to vote on something when you're not a parent? You don't understand what it is to be a parent. You're just 20 trying to follow the trend. You're trying to be cool. And it's frustrating when these people try to ruin other people's lives over a trend. Like I said, it was trendy for people to ruin someone's life because white people would sing the lyrics to a rap song and say the N-word. So it's okay to ruin someone's life. And then you move on and suddenly you have forgotten about that trend. And meanwhile, that person's life was ruined because you casually and carelessly decided to cancel him or have him fired so he has no way to pay his bills, and then put him all over the internet and paint him out to be a bad person so he can't get a job over a trend, over something that now you have forgotten about and you've moved on to destroying somebody else's life for an entirely different, stupid, idiotic, uneducated reason. It's never okay to destroy somebody else's life because you don't like what they believe in. If they're not hurting anybody, if they're not doing something that is harming people, then fuck off. You don't need to destroy someone's life over a trend. Again, it's a trend because if you truly cared about it, you'd be out there on a boat saving the whales. You would be over in Palestine. You would be under the bridges helping these homeless people. But instead, you think that being on social media, acting like a righteous asshole, somehow makes you cool and somehow saves the planet. And it doesn't, and it's ridiculous. Ugh. So, That's been on my mind. Celebrities that are nothing but overpaid court gestures that forget that we're the ones that pay them. We need to stop buying their merchandise. We need to stop going to their concerts. We need to stop supporting them and following them on social media platforms. Because if people like Pink and Eminem can hate against half of the world and make judgment calls and not want us to listen to their music, I think we should say, your wish is my command, Pink. Your wish is my command, Celine Dion. Your wish is my command, Eminem. We won't buy your tickets. We won't go to your shows. We won't follow you on social media. We won't go to your concerts because producers can't produce things when no one's buying shit. When no one's going to their stuff, eventually they're not going to be able to make money. They're overpaid court gestures that work for us, and we need to take a stand. That was all really roundabout and really all over the place and probably very hard to follow. Especially if, again, when it said that my battery was low and it paused, I have no idea where it left off and where it paused. So you could have heard all of that twice and then really been annoyed. And these are, again, the times that I should be professional and edit. I should edit. I should start over. But I'm not gonna, because it just wouldn't be the ramblings of an Insomniac podcast if it sounded good quality, right? Anyway, those are the things keeping me up. Those are the things preventing me from sleeping. These are the reasons I have insomnia. I hope you do not have insomnia. I hope you're sleeping soundly. I hope that wherever you are in your corner of the world, things are going all right. There are a lot of countries right now that are falling apart, not just America. Many countries are just having a hard time. So if you're in one of those countries, I'm sorry. And if you're in a country that's doing well, right on. Kudos to your country. Hats off. So, hey, thank you again for tuning in. I so much appreciate you. Until next time.